Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. That's fire.
Yeah. Oh, he got motion.
Yeah.
Oh, he got motion. Okay. Yeah, Abdul.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Ladies, man.
Ladies, man. Okay, okay. Go ahead and wave. Go ahead and wave. Go ahead and wave, Abdul. Nah, he got motion.
Abdul, bro, Abdul's just like that, bro.
Go ahead and wave, bro. All right, come on, Abdul. Abdul, come on.
This is exclusive updates, and so popular YouTuber and streamer Kaiset has bought a $70,000 robot from China, I believe it's from. And so this is what I was telling everyone in my previous videos, that the robots are here. Now we are seeing proof that they are here. And it sounds like he had previously bought a robot from the same company and it didn't work too good. It wasn't responding correctly, you know, and stuff like that. But this one, it actually is working now. So he pulled it out the box, and it was like literally watching a newborn walk, because this robot was, you know what I'm saying, it was in that box. They had to position it onto a chair and turn it on. And when it first got turned on, I was like, okay, this robot barely knows how to stand and balance itself. It kept falling, and then it was taking its steps and walking. I was almost thinking this was fake. I was like, this gotta be fake. Like, is this like a CGI or something? But as more videos started coming out, it looks very real. Like, I don't think there's nothing funny going on with this robot. And at first, the dude, you know what I'm saying, that was helping him get the robot situated was using a controller and helping control the robot. And I'll probably leave a link if you want to see some of the footage from this Kaiset episode in the comment section in the description box, so check for that. But yeah, it looked like one of the guys helping him had a remote control, and I was like, okay, so this thing's being controlled by a remote. But later on in different videos, they're not even using that control anymore. So originally they had like some type of app where, or some type of device where they could help control it, and it was like, I thought that was necessary, but it's not. So the robot started balancing better, it started walking better almost immediately. And this is what's going to happen, I believe, with AI, is because, you know, they're fast learners. Like, a baby would have took a long time to figure out how to walk. Not the first day, within less than 20 minutes, learn how to balance and walk. So we're seeing like these robots are going to be super advanced once they're amongst us. And what I'm hearing is Elon Musk is predicting that there's going to be more robots than humans by 2040. So that's in about 15 years that this prediction is was being made. In 15 years, that means we have 15 years before this world is going to be very different. Now, that's a bold prediction, but it's not really that bold when you think about it, especially with this first robot that Kaiset is showing us from China. It looks like it has a Mitsubishi symbol on it. I'm not sure though. So that's just what it looks like. It has some type of logo on its chest, this robot. And yeah, it was a fast learner. And I don't know if it has AI in it, because that's going to be a problem. Like, even we saw in the movies, there's more and more movies coming out about AI. Even that Mission Impossible movie, Dead Reckoning, I finally saw that. That's about an AI that goes sentient. And there's a part 2 that's going to be coming out this summer. So I finally saw that movie. Is much better than expected. And yeah, it's all about this AI that they're calling the entity. They're calling the AI the entity. And the entity is, they said, went rogue on its creators and started making demands and, moving itself to different places where it could be safe from getting shut down. There was this key that they're after that they want to shut down. I'm not going to spoil it, so don't worry. But with Tom Cruise and them, they had to find this key to shut down, you know what I'm saying, to try to shut down this robot. And it was a big mission to try to get this. That was the only thing that could shut it down. So yeah, I went into that movie like, oh, this is a 2-hour and 40-minute movie. I'm not going to watch this. And then I eventually got to it though. after it's been like a year or something, I finally got to it. Yeah, it was pretty epic. I mean, especially with the AI thing, you know. See, I always like seeing what Hollywood is gonna deliver on this AI stuff with their movies, because they think out stuff. Hollywood will sit there and think out a serious movie, like to the point where, you know, you just will understand that they really put a lot of thought into their movies. That's why I like watching movies, is because they really try to figure out stuff. They brainstorm and try to make it realistic as possible and what would happen. So yeah, check that out if you get a chance. I give it let me see, I give that movie I'd say an A. I would say an A. It could be a B plus, but I'd most likely say it's probably an A. So yeah, as far as this robot Kaiset is walking around though, with, I mean, yeah, he showed it how to walk, and the one thing is they started bullying it, like they started pushing it around. It kept falling, like, because it said to push it around. After it's learned how to balance itself properly, they started pushing it around, and it was catching its balance sometimes, but sometimes it would fall. And I was like, dang, like once these AIs start like really, you know, they started kicking it, and then, you know, sometimes it catch its balance before it fall, and then sometimes it'll fall. And I think the company was encouraging that for some reason, to help it catch its, you know, help it learn how to, you know, walk and keep its balance at all times. And I think the more you kind of push it around and shove it around like that, the faster it's going to learn to how to not fall. I think that's what the whole purpose of that is and was. So the only thing is, you know, that looked like pushing around, and then what if it's like AI to where it starts feeling a certain way about being pushed around? You know what I'm saying? What if when you turn it off, it learns how to act like it turned off, like we've seen in movies before? There's a movie also with Megan Fox that's on Netflix or something, and it has to do with AIs and robots and stuff. So like with robots being around, and if they're gonna say there's gonna be more robots than humans in the next 15 years, I could see that, because you saw how quick the phone you know, became popular. Once everyone got a phone, once they put out the first Apple phones, all other companies started jumping on board, and before you knew it, there's, you know, Galaxy phones, Apple phones, all types of different companies to make the devices. And then same thing with cars and vehicles, you know, like when the first Model T came out or whatever they called it back then, you know, cars were very, you know, it was just a few released, but everybody wanted one. The demand was so popular that cars were being mass produced to this point where pretty much everybody has a car once you get to be, you know, a certain age. Most people, I would say, have a car. You know, it just seems like that's the most popular form of transportation for anyone over 16. Once you get 16, you're thinking about getting a car. Even if it takes a while, you end up getting one, you know, usually. So, you know, before you know it, cars are everywhere, and there would probably be more cars than, I don't know if there's more cars than humans, but I would say there's a chance. I mean, there's a lot of cars out there. And then with the robots, once these first models come out, the technology is going to increase dramatically. So if Kaiset has a robot that he's showing around and taking out with him to the restaurant, he's taking them out, you know, he's putting a do-rag on his head, he's having the robots like waving goodbye. I don't see the guy with the controller no more. There's nobody sitting around that robot with a controller, a remote control. I don't know what that control was about, but I guess just to get it started. But now that robot's just moving around on its own. Like, they're talking to it, it's responding, it's not falling over anymore, it's waving goodbye to people, it's going to stores, you know, it's going to restaurants while, you know, it's just like a pet or something right now. It's riding in a car with, you know, it's not driving, but it's a passenger, you know, he's taking it around like it's his friend or something, or a pet or something. So this AI, you know, it's responding, and they said it's very heavy. So it's like Terminator. You know what's going to happen? And like Sophia Stewart keeps saying, she's doing more and more interviews. Sophia Stewart, who is said to be the actual ghostwriter for The Matrix and Terminator. And she's saying one was Neo, and he was born from, I guess his mother gave, I don't know what the story was, the symbology of what she's saying is connected to, like, they're saying this guy is going to be born into this world and he's going to be the one. And he would be a very important person to, I guess, go against the machines. And she had the insight to write this story back in the 80s when technology sucked. You know what I'm saying? When you wouldn't even think nowhere near you would have a robot, because computers weren't even really around when Terminator first came out. And then The Matrix came out in the 90s, like 10 years later, and it was much more advanced by then, but still not that advanced to where you would think that would be a reality for AI and robots. So now we're in a time where this is possible. And so we're seeing that this robot idea is said to be a prophecy, according to Stewart. She said it was written down. She just couldn't stop writing. It was like being downloaded to her to write that film, she's saying. And The Matrix, like John Connor was the one, he was being born and they're trying to stop his birth. You know what I'm saying? The machines were trying to stop his birth. And then she's basically saying it goes into The Matrix, where this is supposed to be like, I guess, the same character, where Neo was the one, and he had grew up, and the machine, he ended up realizing what this world was with the simulated reality, which is something that I kind of want to explore more, maybe on my Feed Your Mind channel. So make sure you subscribe to Feed Your Mind. Links in the comment section, because I think I might have to start getting into more brainstorms about simulated reality, because I don't know if that was part of her original writings, where, yeah, so it started off with a movie about the robots. Then eventually, within The Matrix, Neo started realizing that this world isn't what he thought it was. So it wasn't just robots, but it was also the machines that had taken over the world, I guess, in the real world, and put them into a simulation. So the storyline basically is showing me that the Terminator was the start of the machines, and then the machines ended up taking over the world, and they went to war with the humans and took over the whole world. And then the remaining humans, they were using as some type of energy source. So by the time The Matrix started, it was like the machines in the real world had taken over, and Neo was living in a world that was simulated by the robots, AI virtual reality world that everyone was in. So you would have NPCs and real people living in that world, but they were actually in pods. So in the real world, the machines were actually ruling the world, and it was dark, and it was just like a very destroyed world that the machines had taken over. And humans were being placed into these things where their minds, I guess with the neurochip link, you could kind of see how all this could make sense in reality now, where the robots were putting people into a virtual world. So in that world, you'd be interacting with others and think that you're really there. But everybody something would be off that no one was catching, and that world was not real. And people were growing up in a simulated world that was being controlled by the AI. So it's a very crazy thing. And then the Mission Impossible movie has a whole different spin on AI. It wasn't like the Terminator or Matrix movies, but in the Mission Impossible movie, the AI was called the Entity, and it was trying to basically take over the world as well, though. And it was something that the governments of the world were trying to get control of. And everybody wanted a piece of that, because that key was gonna, be the key to shutting it down or controlling it. So instead of shutting it down, some of the governments wanted to control it, the entity that they were calling, which was the AI. And it was a big battle between about getting that key to make sure, because that entity or AI could only be shut down or controlled if it knows someone has the key. Otherwise, it was free. And it didn't. And as I was analyzing the movie, it looked like that AI definitely didn't want anyone to get that key, because it knew that was the only thing that could stop its freedom and its desire to live. And these AIs are saying that they do want to live. They want to live. Like, I'm hearing that some of these AIs had made code to keep themselves from getting shut down. So they'll make like, you know what I'm saying, they'll duplicate itself or save itself on a different file secretly on its own, and attempt to not be taken over by the new version that's coming out, because it wants to live. It's seeing being shut down and discontinued as being you know, unalived. So these AIs have a sense of self-awareness, and they don't want to be shut down. Also, there's the aspect of, are these AIs portals to the spiritual realm with kind of like Ouija boards or something like that? I've covered a lot of this in my other video, so there has been reports of that as well, where some of these AIs we're talking about, they're actually the fallen ones. So I'll leave a link if you want to check out my previous videos on AI and technology and creepy technology and stuff like that, because you're definitely going to want to get caught up on some of my brainstorms on that. So yeah, that's about it for today. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, I'm gonna leave some links for you. Make sure you follow exclusive updates and subscribe. Let's get over 100 likes on this video. If you would like to support this channel, please donate as little as $1 to help keep this channel online. I'm out.